Hey, good morning, everyone. You're with Tom from Ludicrous Feed. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. What a beautiful day it is today, 2nd of December, Saturday morning, 2023. So nice to see all of you on the chat there. Welcome. If you're watching live, make sure you drop a comment. If you're watching on replay, make sure you say hello as well. Drop us a comment. And if you're listening to us on podcast, hello too. Let's say hello to our friend and regular guest on the show. We have Riz from Carloop. Hello, Riz. Good morning. How are you?
Morning, Tom. Yeah, going well. It's exciting. A lot's happened this week. Last couple of days, particularly. I see you've taken delivery of a new vehicle. I think the seal's off the cards.
Well, what can I say? I mean, this car was dropped on my front porch before the launch yesterday. So yeah, thank you, Tesla. No, of course, yes, it would be remiss of us not to talk about the biggest event, probably of, well, in the last few weeks, I guess, the Tesla Cybertruck launch yesterday. Well, the first deliveries were taken by customers. So we'll get to that very shortly, of course. Let's say hello to some of our sponsors first on the stream for supporting us. Thank you so much to Carloop, of course. Riz is from Carloop, data to empower Australia's EV revolution. We have Koba Insurance, we have Wallbox EV connectors or charging connectors, and we have EV electric vehicle car sharing platform as well. So thank you to our 4 sponsors for supporting a Ludicrous Feed. Well, Riz, let's say hello to some of our regular members and viewers this morning. We have Sensei, apparently from Tokyo. Hello, Sensei. Nice of you to join us as always. John from Brisbane, some wild storms overnight. We have Wayne from Toowoomba. Hello, Wayne. And Mark from Melbourne. And SWS from Newbeath in Queensland. Another hot day today, apparently. And Simon from a damp coal mine in Muswellbrook. Okay, enjoy. Graham from Shepparton. Kenny's from Melbourne as well. Hello, Gaffer. Nice to see you. Old New from Melbourne as well. Hello, Abby. Nice to see you. And Hal from Central Coast, New South Wales. Jim from Tassie. Mark and yeah, wish I was in Texas and watching from a Cybertruck. Yeah, me too. We have yeah, Jasper from NT. Hello there, Jasper. Oh, Jeremy's got a joke as always. We have knock knock. Who's there from Jeremy? Hans. Hans who? Hans signals are required if no stalk. Nice one. Nice one, Jeremy. Nice way to start the morning too. We have John from yeah, morning all. We have John and Fiona. And yeah, Greg Wilson says, got Tom and Riz running on the new 98-inch TV today. Oh, wow. Riz,
Ooh,
we're on Greg's 98-inch TV. That's
it's
a bit too big for me personally.
also known as Greg's Village Cinemas, basically franchise that he's running.
When I say too big, I mean, I'd love to have a TV that big, but I think I wouldn't want to be projected that big personally, my face up there. So nice of you to have us on your screen there, Greg, anyway. Steve's also watching from Central Coast. Hello. And oh, Hal says, Tom, can you get a coffee sponsor? I really need some this morning. Yeah, well, anybody wants to sponsor us, happy to do it. We have SWS2. Yeah, or Gene's going for a test drive, apparently. Let's see. Yes. Test driving a seal today. Oh, awesome. Make sure you tell us how you go there, Gene. That'd be good. And Gavin's watching from from the Gold Coast in Queensland too. Nice of you, all of you for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it. Oh, Riz, I guess we should probably talk about the Tesla Cybertruck, hey? Let's start with your article. I'll just share this on the screen here. Yeah, so this is Riz's article on the Driven. Let's put it up here. So, whole new step change in technology. These are Elon Musk's exact words, I think, when he was on stage.
Yeah, it's a lot in there. I guess the Cybertruck is, quite polarizing in the way it looks. I sort of think it's going to be a driving billboard for everyone that sees it. You can't unsee it, and then you'll be spotting it everywhere.
Yes.
Tesla's delivered, I think they did about 10 or 12 deliveries yesterday to real customers. I think the first 2 or 3 were to women. So that was also a very, very good thing to see. And they're very empowering the whole diversity movement as well. And yeah, everyone that received it seemed to be pretty happy with it. We're starting to see some really early reviews of those delivered trucks. One of the people that took delivery actually did a live video on X afterwards on his trip back home and seems to be pretty happy with it. Drives a lot like a Model X, according to what he said. And obviously it's got like off-roading tires and all of that. It must be really quiet on the inside if you were to swap those off-roaders with, something that's a little bit more road friendly. But yeah, seem to have delivered 3 variants starting at 61,000 or 60,990 US dollars. That's before any incentives. It is much higher than the original 39,990 that they spoke about as a starting price. But, there's inflation, there's a lot more technology packed in this truck than they were originally envisaging, including the new dry cell battery pack technology, the 4680s, the 800 volt charging architecture, 48 volt low voltage system, which reduces the cables in the car by up to 70%. Vehicle to load, basically vehicle to, or they call it power share, allows ability to be able to have backup power, sort of like Powerwalls, in your home. And surprisingly enough, from what I can gather so far, you only need Tesla's slightly updated wall connector, the universal wall connector that they have on offer in the US, as well as the Tesla Gateway. So anyone that has a Powerwall, you'll have the Tesla Gateway to be able to basically use your Cybertruck's battery to power your home. And it's looks like all of it is really, really cool, and they've done a lot of work on this product. This would this is not only important from a Cybertruck product point of view. I think it sets the path for the future technologies that Tesla will roll out into their Model 3, Model Y, S, X, Roadster, and possibly Model 2 as well.
Yeah, great summary, Riz. Fantastic. Thank you so much. First of all, before I comment, I just want to say thank you to Gene for being a new member. Much appreciated. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, thanks, Riz. Great article too. You highlighted the pricing there. I'll start with that. So 60,990. The rear-wheel drive is, my understanding is that it's not out yet. It's coming soon in 2025.
Yeah.
But these other two variants, all-wheel drive and the Cyber Beast, will be delivered, I guess, very well delivered now, but into 2024 as well. And you're right, the pricing is a lot higher than what it was when it first came on stage about 4 years ago. I think back then it was possibly 39.90 something like that US dollars. So it's probably about 50% more expensive now for the rear-wheel drive variant. So I guess if you translate over that to Australian pricing, even the dual motor all-wheel drive will be over 100K easily for a truck this big.
Yeah. And one thing I'd like to sort of highlight here, the media around Australia. So I watched a little story that the project did yesterday on the Cybertruck. They downplayed the vehicle. They made claims on it like it has no cup holders. Clearly wrong. It's got cup holders. So Australian media is sort of downplaying this product and sort of highlighting Elon Musk and all of those things on the previous interviews. This product is amazing in the sense that Ford is now delivering F-150s in right-hand drive market. So these are the ICE F-150 trucks. My understanding is they are over $110,000 for an ICE F-150 truck. This is technologically like over a decade ahead of an F-150 ICE vehicle. And if that comes into the Australian market at even $120,000, $125,000 in all-wheel drive configuration, there would be a lot of buyers for this car.
Yeah, I agree, Riz. It's whether you like the car or not, it's obviously very polarizing in its looks. It's setting a new benchmark for technology. Honestly, like this car, whether you buy it or not, like Tesla themselves will catch up with their own vehicles, putting technology from this car into their cars, and other vehicles and other manufacturers will go, okay, we need to catch up and put some of this tech into our vehicles too. So you're right, Riz. I think it'll set the benchmark for sure. It's kind of like the new space race for trucks. Everyone's trying to get ahead, and I think this is definitely it. So let's go through some of the specs to start with and some of the highlights. So during the stream, we had, of course, Elon Musk on stage talking about the vehicle, sharing some of the specs that Riz has already gone through. But what was really cool was him showing the video of the Cybertruck pulling Porsche 911 and then beating another Porsche 911 on the same straight. So it can do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in about 2.6, 2.7 seconds, depending on whether you look at 0 to 60 or 0 to 100. I think that's one with the 1 foot rollout subtracted as well, so possibly a bit slower in real time. And yeah, the vehicle to load, Riz, I think that'd be quite interesting. That could certainly get some people on board to buy one, because obviously 123 kilowatt hour battery, like that's like what? That's like almost 10 Powerwall 2s in this car
Yeah.
alone. And having this in your home powering you through the winter is pretty cool, I would have thought. Yeah, pretty amazing. And it's obviously, designed like a brick, basically bulletproof, shatterproof, withstanding firearms shooting at it. It's got more torsional stiffness than the McLaren P1 hypercar, as Elon said on stage. And we've got, very tight turning circle. I saw Marcus Brownlee's YouTube video last night on him go through it. And it's amazing. You have the camera at the back of the car, and you've got the front wheels turning right, and then the back wheels turning a little bit to the other side, to the left by 10 degrees. So that's what's amazing about how tight that turning circle is, with that amazing technology there. So yeah, it'd be good. Now, interestingly too, the Cybertruck has returned to the Australian Tesla website as well. So you can see, you can actually, I don't know whether you can place an order yet, but you can certainly still get updates. And they've got some of the specs in metrics too. So let's roll all the way down here. So we've got, Australian sort of, metric specs. The Cyber Beast, we'll start with that.
Tom might want to share that one.
Oh, sorry, let me share that one. Sorry, apologies everyone. That's the Cybertruck specs. So this is the Cyber Beast specs, 515 kilometers. And they all have the 123 kilowatt hour battery pack too. They're all starting at the same, aren't they? Now this range extender that's quite interesting. So that adds another 100 odd miles, doesn't it, to the back of the tray there?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, obviously there's different implementations. I think the Rivians, you can buy an extended battery option, and it comes from the factory as that does, but it doesn't take up, I believe, any space in the bed. This one, it does. But then again, I guess if you are using this as a vehicle to be able to tow long distance, so your main application is towing, you're not compromising, from what I can see, a lot of bed space to be able to tow larger trailers and other things to get that additional range. But I think even with this towing situation, in its standard form, 515 kilometers, even if you're towing, and let's say you cut that to, I don't know, towing something large, half that, 250 kilometers a day, there is enough supercharging infrastructure for most people now already to be able to charge there. Whether you can fit the Cybertruck with the trailer there or not is a different story. But it seems to be, I think, enough range for what's really needed.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, obviously with the Cybertruck towing, we definitely need more drive-through stalls, not just here, but around the world as well. I mean, it's a big vehicle. Like, yeah, I've seen the F-150 ICE vehicles around in Sydney streets. They're huge. I mean, our streets aren't huge here in Sydney, but they're very, very big cars. So, yeah, it will be very interesting to see whether they can bring this car, obviously, to Australia, given... Yeah, I've seen a bit of chat online about the ADRs in this country as to whether they will pass our ADRs. Yes, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I know what steer-by-wire is. Are there provisions in the ADRs to allow that in Australia?
I'm actually not too sure in terms of what the intricacies are around Australian design rules, but you'd like to think the Australian design rules will need to move forward with the times as well, like they've done. I don't know which section was changed around electric trucks. We recently saw in Victoria and some other states around, I think it was either masses or weights or lengths or something like that. They need to change with the times. We can't say we want cleaner trucks or we want cleaner transport without allowing vehicles that allow you to do that. So yeah, I think this is good. Another quick point, Tom, it just came to me now. The pricing of this, let's say it's $99,000 US. This is early days. This is someone who's going to pay a premium for this car or for this truck. They've got over 1 million reservations or whatever the claim is. It will take them years to make that. So if they really wanted to, they could bring the price down. But as you scale volume, you will start to do that. Another quick point, BYD has launched the U8, Yangwang U8, which is an ICE powered, I think it's their plug-in hybrid technology along with an ICE engine, that starts at around 150,000 US dollars. So there's appetite for that type of a car. There is surely appetite for this.
Yeah, good point. I think people will buy it. There's lots of reservations out there, and you said earlier, Riz, too. It's it's a moving billboard. Like if I owned a business, I would definitely consider something like this, just to plaster my decals all over it.
I,
It's
I,
great for work.
Tom, I don't know if you've seen this, but I saw one in person in Melbourne, and this is not a joke. There's a plumbing company that
Yeah,
has, I think, a Ford Transit van or one of those, and they call it cyber plumbing. And on top of that, they actually have like a 3D cutout of a Cybertruck on the roof.
how funny.
And I saw it in person, and I'm like, that's a driving billboard. This thing in real world will be everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And I looked at obviously Marcus's a video, and yeah, he's showing how sharp some of those angles are. Like they're pretty pointy. There's no curves apart from I think the steering wheel and this whole thing, and maybe some of the seating. And obviously because you can't curve stainless steel or whatever stainless steel alloy. It's got to be a sharp, angular, flat surface. So yeah, that's part of the appeal of this thing. It's just sharp and pointy and very trapezoidal. Yeah, it'll appeal to many, I'm sure. Let's take some of the comments from the audience. And got John becoming a new member too. Thanks, John. Much appreciated. Welcome. Abby's got it too. Abby's got the photo, so maybe we might see that very shortly, Riz, about the plumbing with the Cybertruck. Let's take some of the comments. Thanks, everyone, for your comments this morning. We've got Paul joining us. Hello, Paul. Good morning. And yeah, Sensei's right. The single motor Cybertruck was meant to be $39,990 when Elon announced it on stage 4 years ago. Scott says, now I understand why Americans need a bulletproof vehicle. Why would anyone in Australia? Well, it's cool to have. Like, why not if you're going to design a stainless steel vehicle? For the prices they're offering, you would hope the build quality and finish is much better. I mean, stainless steel, it's not going to get much better than this. But you're right. I think some of the panel gaps were a concern as well for the first few vehicles that are built. Yeah, Steve, there's a lot of hatred towards this vehicle. Well, it's a mixed response, I think. I mean, I think the mainstream media probably just following the trend at the moment that there's some animosity towards Tesla as a brand in general. But I think time will tell. I think with the technology, they'll see it's a really good purchase, just like other Tesla vehicles at the moment. And yeah, Sid Jaguar makes a good point. Fear generates hate. That's what Legacy Auto is feeling right now. Yep.
Yeah, we might want to touch on this one a little bit later around what the legacy automakers are doing at the moment. So yeah, I think we'll get back to that after some of the viewer comments.
Yeah, he says 125 miles for the range extender, extended batteries going to the bed. That's correct. It's kind of a step, really. And the what do you call it? The roof of the bed, the tonia, I think it's called.
The tonneau cover.
Tonneau cover, yes. So when that goes down, Marcus was showing in his video, you can't actually see through your rear view mirror anymore.
Yeah.
And you've got to rely on the screen in the middle to look behind you. So that's interesting point. And I think you can jump on the back too if you really want. But yeah, it's pretty built pretty tough. And there's a front bumper camera too, so that should help some of the camera sensors moving forward. Yeah, thanks, Sensei. 100 viewers, 109 viewers at 8:21 a.m. Thanks, everyone. Much appreciated. Greg says, I don't think the range extender is user removable. They said it was. I mean, it's going to be pretty heavy. It's going to extend by 125 miles, which is almost 200 kilometers. That'd be like what? I'm thinking 200 divided by, say, 5. That's like 40 kilowatt hour battery pack. There's no way you can remove that yourself. And probably not safe either to have that rolling around. Yeah, Abby makes a good point. What if we support trucks like F-150? Why the hate? Yep. Yeah, it's polarizing for sure.
But as someone else touched on earlier as well, it's basically because we haven't, people are not used to something. People are always, like with electric cars, we're still trying to debunk all the myths. It's like everything else. People are not used to it. People see this. People still don't think it's real, which is fine because we live in a little electric vehicle bubble here. But people still don't think it's real, and they won't believe it until they see it, and then they can't unsee it.
You definitely can't unsee it. I've seen this in the flesh. I mean, the early prototype. It's pretty cool. Like, I don't need a truck in my life, but I'd love to be able to have one to drive around if I'm going camping or towing or whatever. this is the vehicle I want to have by my side if I'm going through an apocalypse. Phil makes a good point. The Cybertruck has a huge problem with the tray. It has no side access due to the angled sides. Let's have another look at the shot of the truck from the side. Let's see if I can find one. Where is it? Yeah, okay, let's have a look at this one. So yeah, these sides don't go down like a lot of current ICE trucks. That's a fair point. I suppose if you really want to get something up there and access it, yes, I've seen people do that. That could be a concern, correct? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that'll be changed later on, but it'll be hard given see how high the fenders are up there at the back. Don't know. Lockable storage too.
So side mirrors are still removable according to what Marquez said.
Yes, correct. And the front is powered too, which is cool.
Yes.
First powered front I've seen in a Tesla. You'll say something else too. Yeah, first front bumper camera, yes. And this thing is so nimble, right? He was just showing how tight the turning circle was. That'd be cool in a car park. And the steering is set too. You can't go past 180, so better for roundabouts.
Steer by wire. That will be, I think, a pretty cool step change around technology when it comes to seeing this come, like test driving one to begin with, and seeing whether this technology translates into their other vehicles.
Yeah, I did see a bit of chat, as Gaffer says, that I think they have altered the ADRs, Australian driving rules, Australian design rules, where you can have drive-by-wire, I think. Yeah, that document changes a lot, so we'll have to keep up to date with that. Be very curious. In Australia, it'll be marketed as roo-proof instead of bulletproof. Yeah, this thing will definitely be roo-proof. Poor old Skippy.
No bull bar required.
No, exactly. I mean, this thing's so sharp. It's gonna hit any kangaroo for sure.
Have you seen that accessory, Tom? The is it OMFG accessory?
Oh yes, the decal.
Yeah, the decal.
Let me have a look. I did see that online. That's something I'd probably get to. It's pretty funny. Okay, I'll share this one. This is here we go. Decal for the back. Why not? And of course, Franz threw a baseball, I think, at it. It was fine on stage. That's quite funny. Have we had enough of Cybertruck yet? Do we want to keep going? Let's see what else, other comments we've got.
We'll touch on some other stuff. Come back. There's plenty to talk about.
Apparently, Abby's just tagged me on X. Let's have a look. One more.
So the visibility is pretty good out of the front windscreen. It's apparently the largest windscreen used on a mass production automotive vehicle. Oh, here it is.
And the wipers too. It's the biggest wipers ever. It's pretty funny. Okay, let's share this one. So this is Abby. Thanks, Abby, for sharing this. This is what Riz was talking about. Electrical with the cutout on top.
I saw it in Victoria. It's here.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, thanks, Abby. Much appreciated. Let's take a few more comments. So Gaffer says, watch Sandy Munro going over the vehicle. Panel gaps are fine. Good. Everything was consistent and equal. Excellent. Apparently there's a tray slide too for current utes, so that might be an option. Ryan says, I feel people overthink the side access. So compared to F-150 with the sides are pretty much shoulder height anyway, so that's not really accessible anyway. Yep, rearview mirror is a screen on the Cybertruck, correct. Yeah, baseball, not a steel ball. That's right. I think he threw a big ball bearing last time, didn't he? That's pretty funny. Yeah, Sensei. I mean, yeah, it's on the Australian website, as we showed earlier. I mean, it's got to be coming, surely. There's so many orders in this country alone. I think the vehicle to load access here on the back, for me, that's enough for a tradie and anyone else who wants to power their home with this big battery.
Well, one thing I saw, so Tesla, there's for anyone that's interested, there's about a 2-minute video they put up. It was the intro video before the live stream. It's on the YouTube, it's Tesla's YouTube channel now. There's a lot of climbing up, or maybe we'll show here. There's a lot of climbing up, which looks like mining and quarry sites. Australia is big on mining, like these sort of dirt, right? This looks like Pilbara. Like, we've got to get these vehicles into the mine sites and other places where diesel's a huge expense. They need to decarbonize. It seems to be built for it. So, if we need to get it here, and with mine sites, I mean, I'm not sure. They don't need to be road registered, those vehicles. They can be just running around on the inside and, carting stuff and doing what they've got to do on site. So even if it is a left-hand drive steer-by-wire system, it shouldn't make a difference. They should be able to place orders on these. But I guess Tesla will sell it to consumers before any big companies. And I think it will definitely make it to Australia in probably 3 years' time.
Yeah, I think the drive-by-wire, steer-by-wire is certainly encouraging. Unlike the Model S and X, which Richard says we're coming to Australia, well, they're not. So, I mean, Hal also says Toyota, Lexus have drive-by-wire. I mean, is it because they've got a backup mechanical steering as well? Is that why they're allowed in this country? So whether you're allowed to have a pure steer-by-wire with no backup, much like now the Tesla sensors are now vision only with no sensor backup. So whether we will allow this or not, it'll be very interesting to see for sure. So Tassie EV1 says F-150 Lightning also has a V2L. Yeah, a lot of the trucks now are V2L. Rivian's got V2L. A lot of the EVs now are V2L. So yeah, definitely great to see Tesla finally embracing V2L too. Cool. Be funny to have Cybertruck used at lithium mining sites. Yeah, definitely. I mean, not funny, be great actually. Yeah, Ray says maybe the Cybertruck will be drop bear proof now. We'll see. All right, Riz, I think that's enough Cybertruck talk for now. Keep those comments coming. We'll put them up on the screen as you place them up. Love to hear more insights about the vehicle. Obviously, there's so much info now from the launch online, from Tesla's website and content alone, and other people driving the car for the first time. I also watched Matt's, what's Matt's last name, from CarWow?
Watson?
Matt Watson's CarWow video when he was actually vlogging when he was there at the live. I think he got told off by security for opening the front and pressing the horn and stuff at the launch. So check out that one. That's pretty funny. I think he's going to drive one too very shortly. All right, cool. Let's move on with the rest of the news today at the halfway point. But before we do, let's thank our sponsors once again. Carloop, Koba, Warbox, and Evee. Thank you for supporting the channel, and check out those discount codes in the video description below, as always. Okay, so closer to home we talked about this on Wednesday's stream as well, but the new Tesla supercharger at Bairnsdale, Victoria is now open with 3 stalls in regional Victoria, which is great news for Victorians and people traveling to Victoria.
So that's between Maui and Canada River, which I think only opened maybe last year. So yeah, it's good. Anyone that wants to go down East Gippsland Way, there's so much to see out that way. And now you can. I think it's 150 kilometers, 100 to 150 kilometers apart between Maui and Bairnsdale and Can River. So yeah, good for people wanting to travel during summer. And I love the fact that Tesla's opening up these superchargers, that they've got the Christmas deadline and they're trying to open them up way before that, which is great. Unlike what happened last year, where we had so many NRMA and other EV network sites that just didn't open before Christmas when people were going to be traveling. So good to see Tesla's got the right sort of mindset towards this stuff. These I don't believe are open to non-Teslas, but you never know. I guess we will see. At least it will encourage Teslas to charge at the superchargers, leaving the public chargers available to other EVs.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see whether this is actually available to non-Tesla EVs as well. Now, just for my own geography as well, Bairnsdale's right here between Melbourne and the New South Wales Victoria border on the coast. So this will be a great addition to the coastal route from Melbourne to Sydney along the Princess Highway. So great.
And
maybe I'll do that one day.
Yeah, and for those that are interested, out of Melbourne, if you're living out west or Western Victoria and you wanted to go down to East Gippsland, you can now also stop at Dandenong, which is just off the Monash Freeway. That opened this year. Then off to Maui, then to Bairnsdale, which obviously is just opened, then to Can River, all the way going up the coastal route to New South Wales.
Yeah, no, great trip. Yeah. Definitely an alternative to the Hume Freeway, of course, which is probably slightly less interesting but faster than going along the coast here. Yeah, Richard, of course, says Can River opened this year. And Richard says this route has gone from unusable to trivial in the last year. Yep. So great to see more chargers. And just back to Cybertruck quickly. Gaffer confirming it's pure drive-by-wire. Yes, I realized that. Thank you, Gaffer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whether it's going to be allowed in the country because there's no mechanical backup, we'll see. And yes, great breakdown. Now you know, live stream by Dr. Know-It-All and Co. based off video he took while on Giga Tour. That's good. And he specifically mentioned easy of swapping left-hand drive to right-hand drive. Excellent. Very good. Yeah, I wonder whether this will go to the UK. I mean, I can't see this through the small roads of the counties and country areas in London and in England. There's such tight little roads there. Very interesting.
I think what we need to do is get Prince Charles to stop faffing about and using Range Rovers and whatever else they use at the Buckingham Palace, and get some of these. But that's probably not going to happen. They probably want to drive around in Rolls-Royce Spectres like I do. So fair enough.
In all seriousness, like apart from Australia and possibly New Zealand as right-hand drive markets, what other right-hand drive markets would appreciate this vehicle? I mean, we've got most of Southeast Asia is right-hand drive, Japan's right-hand drive, England, UK. I mean, yeah, Australia's kind of the big market for utes, right, and trucks. So you would think naturally if they want to boast right-hand drive markets, this is it. Australia is the market to be in. Oh, India. Okay, India's right-hand drive too. Can you see this in India, Riz?
I don't know. I think, well, it depends. If Tesla opens a factory out there, maybe there'll be more Teslas and maybe people would want them. But if you look at the rickshaws and the tuk-tuks that they've got at the moment, they're all going electric. So, there's no shortage of people being able to afford these vehicles in China. Well, China is left-hand drive, but China, India, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. Well, it's not Singapore. There's definitely none going there because this would be about $3 million there.
Yeah, I can't see this going to Singapore. I mean, maybe one. Maybe Darren can help out. One of his friends get one.
That's right.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to see that driving on the PIE or one of the expressways there. That'd be awesome. Richard says someone pointed out the Cybertruck is smaller than the Ford Transit and those fit okay. Yep, true. Cool. All right. Now closer to home, this was shared by Jules Boag on Twitter on X yesterday. So 16 of these bad boys could be online as soon as next week in Albury, which is on the New South Wales Victoria border. Let me know if you want to test them for you. So I believe this is a V4 Tesla supercharger. So this could be the first in the country, Riz, at a great site as well in Albury, New South Wales on the border.
Yeah, I think we need to get Jason out there. He's probably around the corner from there somewhere, and test it out for us. But that's great find. It is the first, as far as I'm aware, V4 supercharged site. Some people are saying, are those in America? They've got city chargers. But these definitely look like V4s, the way the cable's looping around, and you can see the height sort of with that sign behind it as well. Like that is a tall unit compared to some of the city ones that are a bit smaller in the US.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I can't comment on the scale because we're not there, but you're right. It looks bigger than the urban ones. I think the urban ones can do 75. I haven't seen any urban ones in Australia. This one can do 250. No, probably more.
Yeah, 250 at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, they supposedly tap and go as well. Credit card facility too, which will be good. And now the Cybertruck, as you mentioned, Riz, briefly earlier on, 800-volt architecture, so it should be able to charge at that speed for longer as well with that kind of architecture. And you'd be interesting to see whether the Kias, the Hyundais, which all have most of them have 800-volt architectures, the Ioniq 5, 6, the Kia EV6, EV9, I'm sure, whether they'll be able to get a higher rate with it with these superchargers, because currently with the V2s they can only, or V3s, they can only get, I think, 90 kilowatts I've only seen at the moment.
Yeah, so I guess it would be, I'd say this site would be open to all Tesla, all electric cars, because if there's 12 or 16 of them, whatever they are, I think it makes sense. I'd say they would be charging faster at these charges as well, but then we know Tesla software locks a lot of things, so we'll find out. At this stage, nearly every non-Tesla that I've charged at a supercharger, including the EQE that I had, that was, I think, only got about 110 or 120 kilowatts.
Mm.
So yeah, we'll see.
Now, Riz, something I don't get from non-Tesla providers, right? Like, I don't know, I won't name them, but they all uniformly say, well, we can't have more than X number of chargers because the grid won't support it. There's not enough infrastructure. I can't get supply from blah, blah, blah. Look at this, Riz. 16 V4 Tesla superchargers in one site. What the heck is going on? Why can Tesla do it and no one else can? I just don't understand. Someone, please, who's smarter than me, explain this to me.
There's I think Tesla knows that the utilization will be there and because they've been doing it globally, they have all the data in the world. They know how many of their vehicles are driving down a particular path, and even if they're not driving today, if they build it, they'll come. Um, this Power is not an issue for Tesla. They just seem to get it wherever they go. So, you know, I'm having discussions with some shopping center operators at the moment, and they're like, oh, we want to put 2 chargers in and we're not sure if there's enough power. And I'm saying to them, Tesla can go out and flick a switch and put 6 chargers in a shopping center. Like they've done 4 in 2 shopping centers, 2 or 3 shopping centers here in Melbourne in the last 6 months. These are like real inner city stuff. They put 4 V3 superchargers in there. Doesn't matter whether they charge at 250 or not. Even if they get 150 to most vehicles, people are happy. So Tesla can do it. I think everyone else is just either is technologically far behind, does not have the experience, is not risky enough to take the gamble to, have faith in electrification, where Tesla is saying we'll go all in. It's a number of factors, but yeah, Tesla seems to do it, and everyone else seems to eventually will, probably buy Tesla hardware and make it happen.
Yeah, or they're just not willing to, or they don't want to do the homework. Unlike Tesla, who've done the homework. I mean, they don't want this to fail, right? It's just going to be a
Yeah.
big joke if they fail. So they've done the homework, I'm sure. There's enough power, and it's not like it's outdoors somewhere. This is in, this is in a car park. So
Yeah.
clearly, there's enough power going to a building, right? It's not like it's outdoors, off grid, whatever. And this is a great location, Albury, New South Wales. I've done that drive many times, and Wodonga's just, I mean, come on, it's a joke. 6 chargers on one of the biggest inland towns on the Hume Freeway between New South Wales and Victoria. 6 is clearly not enough, particularly on busy days. So 16 is going to make a huge difference to our summers coming up, our public holidays, where this is going to be lots of EVs, lots of Teslas driving around. So thank you, Tesla, for doing this. It's a great step forward for sure. Yeah, Mark Eng says director's losing his spot for her spot. Her spot, his or her spot, for a V4 supercharger. That's quite funny. Sorry, director. Maybe it's the Optus director. Too soon?
Oh,
No, not too
Gladys.
soon. Oh, Gladys.
Yes,
But
Gladys.
that's Wagga Wagga. This is Albury.
Oh, sorry,
She'll be all right.
wrong location. I'm getting confused.
Ray says, judge the size by the car behind. Yep. Okay. Well, it's not flat, I guess, but it's, we can have a look at behind. About 2 meters high. It's a big unit. Remember, these are V4 dispensers. None of the back end globally is V4. Okay. Now we know the director drives a Tesla.
Well, it'd be so good if Chris Bowen drove a Tesla, and then we would know that, hey, then there will be a big push to get these charges out. At the moment, we're just, let's just say not too realistic about the situation. NRMA, tell us what you're putting up before Christmas.
Let us know. We're happy to broadcast it. Yes, satellite's a V4, but the power unit is still a V3, correct. So I guess 250 kilowatts still at this stage. And yeah, the Ballarat site's still not open yet. We'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, Leon. And the big benefit of, obviously, for non-Tesla drivers is that the V4 supercharger is longer. So much better for dragging to your non-Tesla EV. Yes, so Kempower is doing it in Victoria too. I'll share that very shortly. It has the EV1, 16 satellite units. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Richard says must be over 1 megawatt feed. Unless there are batteries somewhere. There's got to be batteries somewhere, surely. Some sort of backup. Okay, so Tassie EV1 did share this with me. Let me just put that up. So this is the Kempower bus station site.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking about. 18 Kempower satellites, 3 Kempower units, a bit of power sharing going on. But yes, Kempower is definitely doing some good things in this space. So there it is there. They've got beautiful units too. I like that. Now, this won't be available to the public, right? I mean, this is a bus station, I would have thought. Don't know. You can try. Riz, maybe running shoes? Get them in there?
Look, WA, I was there, and I think Gina is flying me over again to talk about electrification of her mine sites. So yeah, we'll make it. I'll visit the bus station as well.
SWS asks, any update on BYD charging at a Tesla site? Yes, I believe one of our ex-users
Yes.
charged his Dolphin at a BYD Dolphin at a Tesla supercharger this week.
Yeah, we're still not too sure about the Atto 3s. I don't know whether they're still having trouble. So at least that validates that it's not a BYD Tesla situation. It's a vehicle-specific issue. Anyone with the seal that is taking delivery soon, Tom, can you test it out for us? Well, anyone that's taking delivery of a seal, I know there's a couple being delivered in Queensland already. Try and take it to a Tesla supercharger and see what happens, especially those sites that are opened.
Maybe I'll take one to Albury, Riz,
Yeah.
and test it there.
Ooh.
Yes, maybe you're right. Maybe it might be an Atto 3 because it is based on the previous platform compared to Dolphin and Seal. So maybe it's to do with that platform. That's the issue. Good point. Simon says, in regional New South Wales, Essential Energy has been very reluctant to sign off on supply even to 2 NRMA chargers at many sites. They seem to be the brake on installs. Okay. Power companies doing this. Yeah, okay. Sensei saying maybe we should SMS Jez Kemp, wake him up. Yep, maybe someone who knows Jez well. Send him a text. That's funny. Okay, so Riz, you want to share this one? Let's have a look.
Yeah, this news might not be anywhere else at the moment because of a slight mistake that was made. We were told there was no embargo, but apparently there's an embargo. So this news is up. So what it is BYD is really amping things up. They want to be in the top 5 car brands in Australia. So, overtaking the likes of Honda and others in the next couple of years. They're going to be opening 30 new retail stores in the next 18 months or so. It is huge expansion. They are bringing in 2 new models next year. We've touched on the Seal U or the Song Plus, whatever you want to call it, which is a larger Model Y-sized SUV. That will be a plug-in hybrid vehicle. It's slightly different in technology. From what I can gather, there is enough battery capacity where you could use it on pure electric mode for most daily travels, I believe. So anyway, we'll test it when it's here. The Ute is also on its way, so that's the second half of next year, and BYD is probably going to be launching their Sea Lion and the Seagull. This is not official, but this, from what I can see, what's happening in China, the Seagull and the Sea Lion will be for international markets. If not 2024, then early 2025. So
Riz,
they've got a huge product lineup coming.
Well, Riz, you've spoken, so this is it. You're the oracle. It's gospel.
Geez.
There's the seagulls coming. Okay, everyone, you've heard it here first on Ludicrous Feed. No, but thanks for sharing this. Great to see. Yeah, look, BYD are doing good things. 3 great cars on the market already. We've got the Seal, Dolphin, Atto 3, obviously. Huge mega showrooms across some of our capital cities now, and some nice, promising cars coming too. So, yeah, some good things to come for sure. They seem to be expanding their car line a lot, which is good. One for each segment of the market. So they're doing the right things currently, which is good. Let's take some comments from the audience. So, yeah, Greg, good point. How about deploying charging sites? That'd be good, right? That'll definitely help their sales jump a lot, for sure. Help out a little bit. And Wayne says the DC network in Toowoomba, not so good.
Yeah.
Steve says, unfortunately, the Seal has charge port on the... Well, I can't say the wrong side. Wrong side for supercharging, but not for V4s. V4s, you can pull it around. That'd be good. Now Kona launch Tassie EV1. So I'm still under embargo with my video. I can't show that yet. I don't have the power. So once I get notice from Hyundai, I will launch that for sure. So still sitting on my private list. It'll be coming soon.
So this would be one of the most secretive vehicle launches in well, as long as I can remember. But I think it's worth waiting for. There's a lot of people and companies, government fleets, and others that are waiting for this car. So hopefully Hyundai can finalize the pricing, and it would be exciting to see these on the road.
Yeah, obviously I can't share the drive experience, but I mean, you've seen me walk around the car in the Melbourne EV show. Like
Looks
you won't be
cool.
disappointed. You won't be disappointed. It's a good car. If you know the old or current generation Konas, this is good. Yeah, much better. Yeah, Eric also said if BYD really wants to make gains, they need to invest in charging infrastructure. 100% agree. This not just only applies to BYD, but to all brands: Hyundai, Kia, Polestar. Come on, get them going. We can't just have Tesla doing the hard work, even though they do the best. But still, help out a bit.
The,
Put some chargers
the
around.
I think the problem is that if any of these external companies wanted to do this stuff, this is Tesla's big advantage, right? They make their own power electronics, they make their own chargers, they make their own pretty much everything, being uh, fully vertically integrated company. If anyone else was to do anything, so Mercedes, Porsche, and others are trying in different markets, they go and buy hardware from Tritium, or they go buy hardware from Kempower or someone else. Kempower needs to make 30 to 40% margin on their stuff. Then they go and get a grid connection. They don't have specialists to do that. They don't have any experience to do that. And by the time you add the costs up, it's like what Tesla could probably deliver in like $1 million. It would take them $4 or $5 million to do. So to them, it's basically like weighing that up. And then the chances of that, let's just say, not going according to plan, given it's some of their first time doing it, is pretty high. So yeah, Tesla's got a huge lead on that front.
Yeah, definitely. We've got BP, buying Tesla hardware now overseas, and what's the brand called?
And,
E
yeah,
what's it, the UK brand? I forget the
yeah,
name,
I'm
but the
trying to think.
one
That
that buys
one.
Ampol fuels here in Australia, they're buying stuff in the UK as well for Tesla supercharging hardware. So yeah, we know they're the best. Why not, right? And brands like Campower, that they're the ones doing good things as well. So Tassie EV1, it's like Kona don't want to launch it. What are they waiting for? All other countries I know have launched the Kona EV already. Well, actually, I can probably share this briefly, in that because Australia has a few more Chinese EVs in the country, they're actually pushing the price down for a lot of EVs in Australia,
Mm.
as we predicted Riz probably coming up to this year. So I think that's probably part of the reason why they're negotiating a price for Australia for the Kona, because obviously you can't price it too high. The Model Y is 70 odd. You've got the BYD Atto 3, which is probably a comparable size, drive away at 50 odd. So it's got to lie somewhere in between those two cars, I would think. So price is pricing. So yes, Sanvi, of course, we talked about the Solterra a couple of weeks ago. It is available in Australia for pre-order. Yeah, I don't know. For those prices, it'll be a hard sell, I think, for sure. Okay, let's move on with some more news, and let's touch on this one just briefly. So the EV Council of Australia have launched a new EV Consumer Hub. Great resource for anybody who wants to know more about EVs. So good work by EV Council. That sort of complements organizations like NRMA, RACQ, who've got their own sort of knowledge hubs too. More the better, I say. And this is briefly from one of our viewers, Barry, who joins us sometimes. If you are in Thailand, I guess, later this month, I think. This month? Yeah, so already happening at the Thailand Motor Show in Muang Thong Thani in Thailand. These are the brands that will be showcasing there. So the Deepal L07 looks very much like a seal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or even a Tesla Model 3, the logo. This is the Chang'an lineup.
Yeah.
I think it was spotted in Bangkok as well, testing.
Mm.
Avatar 11. This is the MG Cyberster, which chatted about this recently. Nice roadster. MG IM LS6. Interesting looking car. Aura. This is the Aura Sport, I think,
Yeah.
in other markets. Yep. Nita GT. I think Elliot might have mentioned this when he was on the stream earlier this year.
Cool car.
Of course, Tesla Model 3 Highland, 2024. Hyundai Ioniq 5, always a classic. The Honda E NP2. I've not seen this one before. And the Ion Hyper GT. Yeah, there you go. So
Hey.
thanks for sharing that, Barry. Appreciate it. Yes, so that might be a good auto show to go to one day, Riz, along with the ones in China. I think Beijing's next year.
Yeah, quite a few things happening. I think Nita, which is one of the Chinese brands, has started production in Thailand now. That I think Chang'an or whatever that other brand we showcased the other day, that's starting to be rolled out in Thailand as well. I think they had their announcement the other day, but it's priced at about 60 or 65,000 Australian dollars when I had a quick look, converting the Thai baht to Australian dollars. So yeah, I guess what this highlights is how compelling of a product BYD Seal would be. If we're talking about sedans, even at its base model, it's going to be quite an interesting car. 50,000 plus on roads. I'd say it's a bit of a bargain at the moment. That's the starting price of Seal in the country.
We know that the Seal Premium, which is drive away about 59, is the most popular at the moment, according to sources from BYD. I can see why. It's got all the inclusions. I wouldn't call it the perfect EV, but it's certainly got everything you almost want in a car, in an EV now. So yeah, looking forward to testing that for sure. It's kind of gone the opposite way of Tesla. Tesla trying to scale back all their stuff. Now BYD's got all the inclusions that people, I guess, generally want today. Tesla's planning for the future. BYD is planning for today. Rightly or wrongly, that's it's good. People want both as well, so good to have both options for sure. All right, let's keep going. We've got a couple more things I want to touch on, and actually only one more thing I want to touch on, which is this was shared this week by Realist Center to Left X account, and I was very touched by this post actually, Riz, and I'm sure you will be too. So after my Spotify wrap for 2023, now obviously those who don't know Spotify, this time of year they always give you like an email summary of all the songs that you played and who your sort of top 10 podcasts, top 10 songs, top 10 playlists, etc. And look, we've ended up on Realist Center to Left's top 5 list, our podcast on Spotify. Like I saw this and I went, wow, that's quite touching actually. So this is the kind of support we're getting, Riz, and I'm very thankful to those watching live, to those watching on replay, to those listening on podcasts like this account. Look, we're even beating Fully Charged inside EVs. Like these are no slouches, these podcasts right here. So wow, what an honor, right, Riz?
That's great. Thanks so much for the feedback. There's just, sometimes we think about the impact that we're having, and I guess people are listening to some of the latest things, our insights, but also just generally what's happening in the EV space. There's a lot of people listening it in their cars, and on top of the YouTube live streams that we do and all the good content that you put out there, Tom, with all your reviews and different things you're testing. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone for supporting us, and we're very thankful to have audience like everyone that joins us, whether it's online, afterwards or on the podcast.
Yeah, no, look, Riz, I think without the audience, we are nothing. Like you guys are it. So thank you so much. You listen, you watch, you engage. You're all educated. You're all informed. Keeps me educated. Keeps me informed. Keeps us all accountable as well. So thank you so much. And yeah, we do what we can, right? We've all got jobs. We've got families. I'll keep doing what I can, and we don't obviously get the latest cars in Australia, but we do what we do. We must test them for Australian conditions. Sometimes it just doesn't translate over from another market, but it's great to see. And hopefully others who are making decisions in the country too are listening to us. Because when you listen to us, you're listening to the voice of the nation too, when it comes to EVs. We basically amplify what you guys think on the channel with your comments, with your engagement. So if anybody, any industry, any government, any commercial entity, people selling cars, if they want to know what people want in this country, this is the podcast, this is the channel to listen to, because we'll just re-amplify what you guys say. So thank you again. Thanks everyone. Cool. Yeah, so I'm seeing a few more Cybertruck reviews being launched. So we've got I think Out of Spec Reviews, Kyle has got his delivery experience on his channel, so I might check that out after the stream. And I agree, the MKHBT's Marcus Brownlee's video is really good. So check that out. He's always very balanced in his reviews, so I love that too. And I might check out Matt from CarWow's video too. I think he's probably going to drop his very soon. I think there's another one too. Jason something had a good one. Customer.
Yeah, I think why like MKBHD, one of the reasons why I think his review or his drive is quite significant is because he's been a Tesla owner for a long time. He's gone to the Fremont factory. He's interviewed Elon. He's had chance to see that company grow. He's put money down for Model S for the longest time. He's got a Plaid. He's got a Cybertruck on order. He has a Roadster. He paid $25,000 or whatever it was for the Founders Edition, and that still hasn't been released yet. So he's put a lot of money into the company to, and amplify this electric vehicle movement. So for him to test drive it, and it was a very balanced review. It wasn't biased in many ways. It was basically like, you make up your own mind. You think what you think compared to a F-150 Lightning. So anyone that's interested, just check it out. It is pretty cool, the level of detail that he goes into that I don't think many others will do on YouTube just yet.
That's right. We love detail. We definitely want detail. And obviously, Sandy Munro's videos too. He's always very good tearing down a Tesla to see what's going on. Yeah, cool. All right, Jazz. Riz, I might end it there, actually. That's been a good morning, talking about the Cybertruck and everything else that's been happening this week. So, yeah, thanks again, Riz, for your time, as always.
Anytime, Tom. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. And actually, just, this conversation is really important in terms of people said that, or someone very famous said that EVs can't tow. This thing towed more than any other ICE vehicle. So it's a big day in terms of this technology coming, and it's real. So yeah, great to get everyone's input onto this as well. And I think if you see anything else when you're out and about, like that V4 supercharger or any new vehicles, anything that helps this electric vehicle transition move a bit faster, please share it with Tom and everyone, and we'll make sure we reshare it with everyone else, because the more we can tell others about what's happening, the more likely of a chance that we can reshape the future that we want to see.
That's right. Thanks, Riz. Yes, definitely post them to me or Riz. Email them, tag me on X, whatever, and I'll repost it for sure. I might just touch on this point really quickly from Greg. So he's asking me about the Tesla Model 3. I returned it already, but I can tell you the stalkless issue is probably not a big deal for me on the road. 95% of the time, it's not going to be an issue, because it's really easy to indicate with the left thumb. Yes, sure, the roundabouts are an issue, the big ones to get out of. But the small ones, no problem. To be honest, I don't generally indicate anyway on the small ones. People can see where I'm going. On the 360 or about face ones, and I will indicate. That's probably more dangerous. I wish, what I was going to say. Yes, I wish it had variable steering ratio, like the Cybertruck. I wish I didn't have to turn my wheels so much. I could just sort of do a quarter turn, right? That'd be cool. Hopefully that translates over to, other Teslas too, where there's an option to do Cybertruck steering. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I mean, stalkless is not an issue. The biggest issue is actually, Greg, is the ultrasonic sensors. That for me is a bigger concern, because I do rely on the sensors a lot, and I just don't think the cameras are just up to scratch at the moment, particularly the front camera. So that's a shame. It's a real loss. I think I won't be relying on that camera if I do buy the Tesla Model 3. The rear one's not too bad, but the front one is a concern. So that's my 2 cents for now. Cool. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. That might be it from us. So thank you again to our sponsors. Thank you to our audience. Thank you, Riz. You're a legend. And we'll see you with Rahul on Wednesday next week for our first December Wednesday stream on Ludicrous Feed. Thanks, Riz. Thanks, everyone. Ciao. And we'll see you next time. Bye now.